happy holidays, everybody. I hope you all got through Christmas. I did. And then after Christmas, I got sick. But on Christmas Eve, we celebrate in Sweden on Christmas Eve. I had like my whole family here, my siblings and their kids and my parents. So 19 of us. And we usually have like a big smorgasbord type of Swedish Christmas dinner where the main dish is ham. I mean, we have so many dishes, so I wouldn't really say that's the main dish, but that is kind of the big thing in the middle. That's kind of the must. And then we have herring, and we have cheeses, and we have cold cuts, and I made also like usually there are not many vegetables. Some people make like a red cabbage, kind of stewed red cabbage thing with special spices like cloves and allspice, I think, goes in there, but nobody eats it anymore. So I made kind of a fresher salad with persimmon and kale and what is this? It's called black cabbage in Swedish. I can't remember what it's called in English. Anyway, that was kind of like a raw salad. It was anyway great. And the fragrance I wore for Christmas was Bengale Rouge. Please tell me what you wore. That one's definitely kind of a difficult wear, and it demands almost an occasion like Christmas to be able to kind of I needed something kind of strong that day. So that really, really worked. And it would also work for New Year's, I guess. Just in a little while, I'm on my way to a party. My sister, by the way, gave me this fancy little top for Christmas. So it feels fun to wear something with sequins. But I brought out some fragrances that I'm considering for tonight. I'll be going to this little party, and we're going to start the party by everyone is going to bring, all the women are going to bring their favorite fragrance. They're going to wear it, and they're going to bring it on a paper strip. And the guys, to kind of start the dancing, because it's like a dance party, they're going to be given each one strip, and they're going to sniff their way to their first dance partner for the night. So that'll be fun. But I don't really have a favorite fragrance, so now I have to decide what to wear. And I kind of brought out what I felt were kind of my favorites as of now. Not for sure that they would be the same if you ask me tomorrow or in 2 weeks. But these all feel right for the occasion. Iris Prima. Maybe this is not quite heavy enough for the season, but this is a really nice suede vanilla type fragrance with iris. I don't think the iris is so dominant here. Oh God, I love this fragrance. I mean, everybody would like it, but I think that maybe New Year's needs something a little bit heavier. And then I also have two from Xerjoff. 400 and Opera. And Opera, look at that. That really looks like New Year's Eve to me. Anyway, this is kind of one of my few fruity perfumes that really work for me. And it's just because it has like the undertones are all kind of Middle Eastern style. And then it has these beautiful florals in the mid and some woodsy notes. It kind of has it all. And the way they've done the fruits in here, I mean, the opening of Opera, nothing beats it. Honestly, it's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful opening. 400, I've been a little on the fence about this. Like, why did I buy this? Because there's some note in here that is sort of like getting to me. Like I'm not 100% happy with one of these notes in here. I don't know if it's the bitter orange or if it's the nutmeg in there, or I don't even know if it has nutmeg. I think it just says like spices or something, but it doesn't really list nutmeg if I remember correctly. But it reminds me a little bit of the new Ormaie fragrance called Tableau Parisienne. So if you're familiar with that, this is pretty similar to that. It's pretty heavy, and it does the lasting power is incredible. So it will stay with me all night. So that is an option as well, as long as I can get by this. But maybe it will feel good now. Like over the holidays, it has that little spiciness that kind of maybe works in this kind of weather. It's kind of melting now, all the snow that came. We had so much snow, and now it's kind of all melting, but there's still a lot left. So it's still wintry, and it's not warm, I wouldn't say. It's just kind of mild, a few degrees over 0 Celsius. Okay, and this is a fragrance that would probably be perfect for tonight. This is Rosendo Mateu number 7. And this is, the perfumer of this house passed away, I think, in the last year. That's really sad. I really like his fragrances. I don't like number 5 so much. I think that one is the one that has an overdose of saffron. But this is like a beautiful oud, not rose, oud vanilla patchouli fragrance. A lot of patchouli, but not as like one notey as patchouli from Perfume and Roma, for example. This is more vanillic than that. And it's kind of really sweet and resinous. It's almost like oily. It's really dense. I mean, like 3 squirts of this, I'd be good to go until 12 tonight for sure. So this is a really good option. I might consider that. Okay, then there is one that I'm really considering. I kind of want to wear one of my bottles. Not that it matters at all, but psychologically it just feels wrong to take one of my decants. Like for New Year's Eve, it should be something that I really like, one of my favorites. But I just recently got this. I think I told you about it too. And it is Dior Addict. And it's the vintage formula from 2002. It's because this is such a party fragrance. It just smells New Year's Eve. This is a really vanillic, spicy, heavy, feminine, incredible fragrance. And I love it on 2 times this year. I've smelled it on others and I've been, oh my God, what are you wearing? I just felt like I needed a decant of it. And I think this will last me a long time because I won't wear it every day, but today would be a perfect occasion. But there is a slight risk that someone else will be wearing it tonight. Very slight risk. Another perfume that would be perfect for the occasion, but a little risk that someone would be wearing it is, it's on the wrong way here, is Flower by Kenzo. Did I say this was from Dior? Of course, Dior Addict. What else would it be from? This is a great incensey vanilla with rose. I think it has some violet. It has some. It's really, really pretty. I don't like straight up incense, I'd realize. I've tried now Cardinal from Heeley. I've tried things from Chapel Factory. I've tried, I mean, anything that's straight up incense doesn't really work for me. I don't think I don't know. I don't love it. But I do like, there are incense fragrances that I like. But when they're just like black peppered incense and something like just that cold feeling, I don't think that's enough. This is anything but cold. It's very warm. To me, this smells like the most expensive niche, although it's available like everywhere and it's not that expensive. But I mean, designer fragrances have gone up a lot. Arlene from, what's her fragrance channel called? Delicious Delights. She had a whole video about how much fragrance has gone up in general, and I think she said especially designer fragrances, because niche has always been expensive, but designers are getting there too. And another thing I've noticed is that a lot of designers now are adding an exclusive line to their collections. Like, I think I noticed now that Bulgari has like an exclusive line. You know, in my former video, I told you about this big gift of samples that I got from somebody. I can still feel like I have a cold, so if I'm sounding a little weird, that's why. I just got on my feet today, basically. But I found some real good stuff in this sample collection. I'm going to tell you more about it in my upcoming videos. But I've tried so many. I haven't been too sick to try fragrances. I have. I don't think it's COVID. Well, it could be, but I haven't lost my sense of smell anyway. It has been perfect, no problem. There's been a fragrance called Jasmine Noir. It's kind of a nice almondy. It's called Splendida Jasmine Noir, and I'll just tell you a little bit about. I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant about the longevity, but it is a beautiful gourmand, or like semi-gourmand. It's not too sweet. It's not like a piece of cake or anything, but it's just like satisfyingly sweet and perfect for colder weather. But okay, so there is also a Jasmine Noir that comes in a different bottle that's like way more expensive, and I think that might even be discontinued. And that's when I realized they have a collection that you can find like in maybe tax-free and cheaper places, and then they have an exclusive line, maybe only available like in Paris or something, I don't know where. So I mean, I just noticed that it used to not be like that. It used to be like all fragrances were like in the same kind of range, and now they all have these like higher range fragrances. And I really don't think that the higher range fragrances necessarily always are better or last longer or anything of that, but it's a way to make more money. Like, they can target different kinds of groups, and like people that feel like rich or want to feel like they have that special one can go for the most expensive, but it doesn't mean that it's any better than something like this. Like Flower by Kenzo. This is the EDP. I'm not familiar with the other versions like the EDT or anything like that. I haven't even tried the other flankers, which I probably should since I like this so much. Do you have a flanker of this to recommend to me? please let me know. Let's see. This was another fragrance that I considered, Safari. This is like a perfect party fragrance. This makes me feel, think of like chandeliers and fancy dresses, high heels, nylon stockings, getting ready for a party, pearls, castle type of environment. It really, the name is so misleading, Safari. I mean, there are green notes in here, but it's really like a powdery, it's very, very perfumey. It's the best way I can describe this. It's really sharp in the beginning, so you have to wait like a good half hour before it sort of settles down. If any one of you are familiar with the old formula, like the original formula of this, and have made like a side-by-side, I'm really curious to find out if there are big differences, because the way I remember it, I've been through bottles of this since I was young. They're pretty similar as I remember, but I've heard people say that the new formulas are like, they butchered the old. I don't know. Some people I think just like to say that. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think even like the old formulas are a little dated, like we were used to maybe having to struggle more with the opening than we are now. Like now they found ways of making the opening pretty good, because if the opening is too challenging, it's really hard to sell. Especially like if you're in tax-free, you're going to catch your next plane and you only have 20 minutes to pick out a fragrance. It has to be good right now. Otherwise people won't buy it. So I don't know, just everything kind of moves forward, and I think maybe the same is with fragrance. Like they've maybe found a way to get past that. Vixere is something that I would consider. This is a great, beautiful, feminine floral fragrance. This has like white florals, yellow florals, purple florals, I think maybe a little rose, and then it has a really nice vanillic undertone. It's really, really pretty. The only thing about it is that the atomizer is broken. I have to go through a special one of these that pumps over into an atomizer and spray myself from there, which is a shame. Another one that I just recently picked up. Have I talked about this? I think I talked about it when I had a sample, but I just bought this. Look at that packaging. I don't know if you can see how beautiful that is. It has gold here. And then even if I bought the little one, it's 0.68 fluid ounces, 20 mils. And even though you get the smaller bottle, you get like the really nice presentation. It has a little sleeve, and then comes the box, and it is just as beautiful. It looks like a little, and then there's the bottle. And it doesn't have those big Art Deco wooden tops, but look how pretty that is. And then it still has the top, so you can like see the difference. Oh, where's the name? The name's not on there. That's a little strange. So it only has the symbol. But I only have one, so for me it's not a problem. But I guess that is kind of a drawback. It doesn't even have the name on the bottle. It probably says here under, I'm guessing. But this is Papier Carbonne from Ormaie, my most recent purchase. And it is a beautiful gourmand fragrance with like coffee. It has ambrette. It has some vanillic notes. I really enjoyed that sample so much, and after I got that job, I decided to go out and get something for myself. So that was the one I got. I don't feel the need to have like 100 ml bottles of things when I have so many fragrances. I have to stop that in general. It's just not. It's just not good. And yesterday I really fought an urge to buy, I saw this company called Gents. Maybe you could buy from them, I'm not sure. They're in southern Sweden, but they also have a web shop. They had Hermetica, the oil-based perfume house that I've talked about and that I really like. They had them like 50% off. I don't know if all of the fragrances, but some of them. And this particular one, Megaflower, which is like a really heavy orange blossom, kind of orange blossom and ambery fragrance, was on like half off on a 50 ml bottle, and I was just so close to getting it. And then I just realized, how often am I going to wear an orange, like a Soliflor heavy orange blossom fragrance, even if I like it? I mean, I've got Love Don't Be Shy, I've got a squirt of that. I don't very often reach for this kind of fragrances. I tend to reach more for like layered fragrances that have a lot to discover. There's really nothing to discover in this one, and nothing happens to it from the time you put on Megaflower until the end. It just smells the same, only weaker towards the end. But it is nice if you want to avoid alcohol and you want oil-based perfume that lasts. I think I've heard a lot of people say that they don't last. I was surprised to hear that, because to me, I think they last pretty well. Not all of them, but Megaflower definitely, yes. and also Greenlion I liked. There were a few other ones. Verticaloud was good. Vaninight was good. And I think the performance was pretty good. And then there's this one called 1812, referring to the 18th of December, but it's only 8 days from today, or 11 maybe. My kids are calling me, and I've told them not to yell my name, but this is a beautiful like red rose with sprinkled confectionery sugar on it, and it also has like some rhubarb or lychee or something in the top, and then it has these like sweet notes in the bottom. I don't know exactly which, but vanilla for sure. This would be a perfect New Year's fragrance. Absolutely perfect. This is very much more gourmand actually than Papier Carbonne that I have. So that's an option as well. And then I got out Iris Prima, one of my favorite fragrances, but maybe a little too soft, because this is kind of an occasion to go heavy, like to wear something that will kind of like you rise to the occasion, right? And this is a little bit more of an everyday. Oh, but it's so good. Like everybody will like it. And I'm going to be meeting people I've never met, so yeah, maybe. Iris Prima from Penhaligon's is really beautiful suede type iris and vanilla fragrance. It reminds me a little bit of Bottega Veneta, EDP, and it reminds me a little bit of Cuir Beluga from Guerlain. And also, what's that one called? From Sous le Manteau. Something Cuir d'Orient, I think is the one. Is it the one? Yeah, that's the one. Reminds me a little bit of that too. Okay, and then one that is really, really beautiful, and even if it's the wrong season, this would make a great, and I know no one will be wearing something like this, is Gardez Moi from Javoy. I love this. It's just a beautiful kind of green leaning tuberose. I think there's tomato leaf in the opening. It's really special, this one. And I've gotten compliments for this too. This is a little bit more like a flower store, pretty dense. I'm not sure for New Year's, but it's super feminine. Nobody will have it, for sure. Nobody will have it. Nothing designery smells like this. So that's one. I can't remember which ones I've talked about now or not. I don't know. Did I mention Chypre de Palatin? I can't even remember because I started making a video and then my kids started yelling and then I had to start over. So anyway, I'll wear some of, maybe it'll be Dior Addict. I'm not sure. What are you guys wearing? I got this outfit, not this outfit, but this top I got for my sister for Christmas. That was great fun. It felt perfect for New Year's. So it's fun. I don't like New Year's Eve really. It's one of my least favorite holidays because especially like when the clock strikes 12 and you do this countdown, usually at Swedish parties, people go outdoors to enjoy fireworks and it's always like really, really cold. And people want to like drink champagne and I really don't like drinking that late. So maybe I'll have a sip, but I don't like it. I think it tastes bad. And I always miss my husband so much and family, and I really feel like, what am I doing here? And I see all these couples kissing, and I just think it's a really horrible moment, and I wish I could just skip it. But I heard today the plan for this party is that we're not going out, so maybe that will help. I really hope so. Anyway, I would love to hear what you're wearing for tonight, if you're doing something special, or if you're not doing something special, what are you wearing anyway? And I'm dying to get back to you about this big selection of samples that came in the mail. There's some really good ones in there. I want to tell you all about them, but I'll save it for another video because I'm not going to wear any of those for New Year's. I'm going to wear something that I know really, really well because so far I don't feel like I know these fragrances. I would like to give them one more wearing. Some of them I've already put aside, like I'm not going to wear them again because they're so terrible. I can tell you about one actually that I will never put on again. It's the second time I've tried it. I've tried it one time in store and one time now. And it's Fantomas from Nasomatto. And it smells just like melons and rubber and plastic. And then all that gets kind of set on fire. So there's like a burnt smell in there. It's very industrial. It's kind of fruity and horrible. The clash of notes is just like, oh, it was a scrubber. And even though I scrubbed, it was like still on my skin. Really, really bad. do not recommend it. It's definitely not a safe blind buy anyway. It's one of the worst things I've smelled this year, along with Gaea, and what else did I hate this year? I don't know if I can remember, but that was a bad one, a really, really bad one. Yeah, Sécrétion Magnifique is worse though. That was even worse. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well that was all for today, guys. Bye.